So this video is basically three things that I really like about the Agama installer. Keep in mind this is a work in progress. They're going to add more features to it, but it's never going to reach parity with the current Yast installer. But there's three things that stand out to me as really good. Number one is the Wi-Fi connection. Can't show it to you on this, but it looks a whole lot like the KDE Plasma Wi-Fi connector. And, there's Wi-Fi connectors are a dime a dozen. They all work basically the same. You click the one you want to connect to, and you give it a password, and it connects. And it works really good. The other thing I want to show you is I picked OpenSUSE Tumbleweed. You do have the option to change product while you're installing this and change it to a different product. So I think that's really good. Right in the middle of installing, if you decide from Tumbleweed, you decide, well, maybe I want to go Slowroll, you can just change product and select Slowroll. The other thing is a big win for Nvidia card users. So I really don't have an Nvidia machine that I use on any kind of daily basis, but I do have that old desktop there that has an Nvidia GPU in it for specifically one purpose: to install Linux distributions on that desktop and see how hard or easy it is to install the Nvidia drivers. If you've been watching my channel for any amount of time at all recently, you know that I'm looking for a new operating system or a new distro to put on Sweetie's laptop to get rid of the Manjaro that's on there. And I narrowed it down to either Fedora 42 KDE Plasma. Never thought I would say that in a million years, but it's really, really good. Or it's going to be, I was thinking OpenSUSE Slowroll. So I installed it on laptop that you can't see. It's just a extra laptop I have. Fedora on that. Works great. And I decided, well, I wonder how it does on Nvidia. So I decided to find out. Well, it turns out that I could not get Fedora to take the Nvidia drivers on that machine. I couldn't figure it out. I followed guides, tutorials. It seems like a convoluted mess. Kind of surprised me. So I decided I'm going to put Tumbleweed back on there. I'm going to do it through Agama. And that's when I found this little nice little feature in Agama that makes it even easier than before to install the Nvidia drivers on OpenSUSE, not Leap. In the software packaging, this works on everything but Leap. It works on MicroOS, Slowroll, and Tumbleweed. Leap 16 does not have this button. But you click the package that you want, the environment that you want, and then you scroll on down, make sure Yast is selected if you want Yast. If you're using OpenSUSE, I'm assuming you probably do. Right here, miscellaneous proprietary packages. This will automatically enable the Nvidia repos and a couple others like Google Chrome repo. This will automatically enable that. So all you have to do after you get the install complete is, well, if you're installing from the network version, you're already up to date. If you're installing from the offline version, go ahead and sudo dup, get everything up to date, and then sudo zypper inr. It's really awesome. And anytime I talk about Agama, I'm going to mention this in Authentication. When you create your username and you give that username a password, you have to, in the Agama, you have to create a root password. You have to. Now, I've been setting the root password to be the same as my user password, because that way it's seamless and it doesn't bother me. because it kind of bothers me. I'm hoping this is a bug and not a feature. But if I create the same password on this root, the reason being, if you don't, you're not going to be able to access Yast. You can do everything else. You can do anything you want to by command line, but you can't access Yast. And in Leap, you can't access Merlin or Cockpit without that root user password, even though define the first user with the admin sudo privileges. That sudo admin privileges doesn't get to use Yast for some reason. I'm hoping that's a bug and not a feature. Anyway, let me jump to the other side of this and I'll show you what all this looks like. Okay, so this actually is the laptop that you see behind, or the desktop that you see behind me. The one I told you about, that is what's showing here. And I did an install with Agama. I clicked the little button for proprietary repos. Everything's up to date, so I don't this is the, except for installing OBS to record the screen, this zypper INR is the very first thing I'm doing on that. I didn't do anything with repos. I didn't go into Yast and do anything. The first thing I did, more or less, was sudo zypper INR. And you saw it's going to install the exact Nvidia drivers that I need for that system. It's going to pick it out for me. It's just absolutely lovely. And then the only thing left to do after this point is restart the machine, which I did. And then once the machine is up and running again, the easiest way to find out if you're running Nvidia is just Nvidia-SMI. Show you that right here on this screen. And that confirms we're running Nvidia GeForce GTX 1060 with Nvidia 570.153 running. And on Tumbleweed, it was super easy. I could not figure it out on Fedora. So, but anyway, for as far as I'm concerned, this is a win for Tumbleweed. That's going to be all for this video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.